figures the minute I start trying to do anything involving the internet that I wanted to do today, my internet would cut out. Anyway, I'm ready.
All right. Well, I finished with a recap and just said that when you woke up and exited the invisible door into Mordenkainen's magnificent mansion, you found yourself once again surrounded by kobolds.
Oh, that's right. These guys.
Like you do.
Someone give me a cup of deja vu this morning.
We do this. We try to explain to them that we don't have any masters and that we're just trying to pass through to the mountains.
Well, actually, the first thing you notice is that this time the kobolds don't seem set up for an ambush the way they were last time. Last time they seemed to have waited for you to go into a canyon so that they could block off exits. This time you're out in the open desert, and so the kobolds are all surrounding you, but there's only about a dozen of them. For them, not too many, and they don't seem quite as ready to go to battle as they did last time. And once he sees you all exiting the portal to the mansion, the kobold that appears to have the finest outfit chants a spell and then says, "You outsiders can now understand me."
Oh, hey, hell yeah, we can.
Yes, although, to be clear, my dragon could already understand you. He just cannot talk.
Good for him.
Nobody asked the dragon.
Well, I'm just saying, technically, if my dragon
It
could talk, he
doesn't
could
matter.
translate.
But he can't, so it doesn't matter. Don't bring it up. Anyway, hi, hello.
You have one of the dragon vermin with you?
That's rude.
Well, we are the kobolds without masters. We roam the wastelands, underground, hiding in the spaces where the bigger ones cannot find us.
Clever.
Neat.
You are outsiders. Outsiders who claim to have no leader.
Don't
Define
you
leader.
dare open your mouth.
The large one that organizes, that demands, that carries out, that tells the others what to do.
Yeah, we don't have one of those.
That is good. Why do you cross the Dragonlands?
We're going to the mountains to the, I'm guessing they're west at this point. Yeah, we're going to the mountains, the west.
At this point, they're a little more west than south, but it's still both.
Okay, to the southwest then.
What was that for?
That was for Aurelia's own thought process. Well, actually...
No, stop.
I think that you need to distinguish between an illegitimate master and a legitimate leader.
I cover her mouth!
Well, one of you could roll insight.
My insight is pretty garbo.
Oh,
But I have a
Mine is.
I have a couple luck points I can burn if things go south.
Mine's good, but my roll was garbo.
Well, at least two of you successfully realize that the way it's describing Master, it seems like only a dragon, a true dragon, could fit into that mold.
Okay.
In case that wasn't obvious from the start.
I mean, yeah. But at the same time, I'd
he
rather...
did say the large one, but on the other hand, he said a lot of things that Aurelia does, so...
But nobody asked Aurelia.
Yeah, nobody asked Aurelia.
Right.
And also, Lake really only goes along with them because they kind of are interested as well. So, fuck off.
Well, in any case, once the kobold hears where you're going, he actually asks for more specifics, and Magus Lorum, who has the map, starts giving them. And it actually gets pretty detailed. They end up scrolling out some images in the sand. And once they finish, Lorum comes up to the rest of you guys and says, "Okay, so the kobolds had something interesting to say about where we're headed, which
Define
is...
interesting.
Well, he calls it the Red Territories."
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck. I'm guessing we don't even need to
Is that
roll.
because
to-
it's covered in roses?
Cat, why are you like this? Okay.
Oh, you
She's
nice
trying to
little
swat
soul.
shit over from my lap because she's a lazy sack of shit.
Unfortunately, it's not flowers that we'll be
Yeah.
encountering, but he had some advice to give us, which is that, well, first he explained that the Red Territories, apparently there was this one ancient red dragon that ruled over this entire area back in the day, but that was decades ago now. Apparently he was killed in some sort of fight with Southerners. That's what they're calling us, too. Might be why they're being so helpful, in fact. But the territory now is made up of basically all the ancient red dragon's offspring. Siblings, ancestors, fathers and sons. They're all fighting each other for control over this massive space.
Why this place?
So basically,
I almost say this place sucks, but then I look over at the kobolds and say it's very lovely and nice.
So who's the legitimate heir?
No.
Does it matter?
I'm not sure that it works that way for the red dragons. In any
I
case,
see, they're uncivilized, all right.
In any case, there are dozens of them. Honestly, it's kind of like when Relgoth died.
all the primal tribes and the orcs.
No, I don't believe the orcs were ever unified. Regardless, the thing is that the dragons themselves are fairly individualistic, but what they do is they hatch these... They're called Dragonborn, out of dragon eggs, and they create these humanoid versions of themselves that are weaker and able to do things that humans
Like
or
shock
humanoids
troops.
can do.
So really loud.
Shock troops, probably.
100% shock troops.
Well, regardless, they live in their own tribes and keep to themselves mostly. Unless their dragon masters tell them to do something, in which case they do it.
God,
But,
I fucking hate dragons.
I'm starting to get there.
But those kobolds back there, well, apparently the kobolds are like the lowest caste around here. And they essentially act as slaves and servants to the Dragonborn, who are slaves and servants to the dragons. But these independent ones here apparently got free and they seem to have some sort of literal underground society.
Good for them. Fuck
Yeah,
masters.
good for them. Anything that's spitting a dragon eye is fine by me.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we won't be getting past the Dragonlands without getting some of their help. Otherwise, we'd be facing fights with them every day, pretty much. That's how it sounded. But
Yeah, sounds about right.
we should be able to choose which clan we ally with. They each have their own upsides and downsides.
Which one would get us past the dragons the most sneakily?
I'll let him explain it.
Okay.
And so he spares a word with the kobold, who would cast tongues, and the kobold comes up and says, "There are 5 colors of dragons, and there are 5 clans you can choose from. If you wish to head directly west into the mountains, you can speak to the white clans. They can get you through by crossing through the mountains and avoiding the red territories entirely. But the whites are not trustworthy, and they would take you into giant territory instead."
Yeah, fuck white dragons. Let's not.
As soon as you encountered any sort of difficulty, the clan would abandon you to your fate.
Okay.
However, you could also speak to the blue ones. The blue ones control the great river that crosses through Pernalia. They fight constantly with the reds. They will stand by their word, but you will have to fight the reds with them if you wish to cross using the river. The blacks are a sneaky sort. They have no territory of their own. They hide in the territories of others, scavenging off of the remains of battles and destroyed towns. They could sneak you through the red territories. But like the whites, if you get caught, they will run away. Then there are the green kin. The green kin live to the south, closer to Amnastaquirtia, the land of the elves. The greens like to take slaves of other humanoids. They could take you to the mountains, but they would likely only take you if they were doing so as slaves, to trade to the giant kin. Then, of course, you could choose to ally yourself with one of the red clans. But then you would definitely have to defeat another red clan to prove your worth, that you are more used to them alive than dead. But of course, if you could play multiple clans against each other somehow, get them all to fighting so that you could sneak through on your own. Perhaps you could do that, but I would not know how.
Neither would I. Honestly, out of all of them, I think I prefer the sound of the blue ones.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards blue myself.
I mean,
Which ones were blue again?
They're
The
the ones
black
who would take
dragons
us to
sound-
the river, but we would have to fight the reds with them.
I mean, the black dragons sound like more my kind of deal, but as long as it's not white dragons, I am fucking
Wait, which one
fine.
are the
Oh, yeah,
blacks
well-
again?
They're the ones who would take us up to the giants and then run.
Those are
No,
the
no,
whites.
those let us sneak through territory. Whites are the ones who.
No, no.
Yeah, take
I
it.
thought he was asking about the whites, not the blacks. Yeah.
What unfortunate names.
Yes.
And in both cases, when trouble comes, they'll just run away, so...
Yeah.
Can't trust them in the fight.
Honestly, I am super.
Well, I mean,
weak.
ideally with the black dragons, you're not getting into a fight.
And also,
Ideally, but given our track record,
Speak for yourself.
like the blue clans will at least keep their word. So if we can get them to promise to take us up the river, I wouldn't mind going with them.
The stickler being we would need to take down some red dragons, though.
Yeah.
They would also charge you for the privilege. You seem to have magic on you. They may demand that.
What a bunch of shysters.
I cannot get rid of my magic, though. Like, what? I'm strong now, finally.
Begin openly weeping.
I'm finally strong, guys! I don't want to do it!
Screaming, I am the fucking straw.
I lift Grunash above my head just to prove how strong I am.
Look, as I said before, as long as it's not the white dragons, I can deal.
oh, I think we're unanimously against going white dragon.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
am really against the white dragons.
Yeah, we all are. Don't worry. That's not going to be a choice.
I mean, greens would also probably be good, but the thing is we would need to find a way to escape slavery.
Just
No
Lily
thanks.
walks directly up to you, puts a finger on your chest, and just says, "I'm no slave to anyone."
No,
Fuck
I
off.
wasn't gonna suggest that we actually become slaves. I'm just saying we pretend to be slaves. Then once we get past where we need to be, we murder them and then go off on our own.
I'm not even up to be pretending.
Buddy, that sounds way too convenient.
I think we're all just sort of leaning towards blue. Unless, well, I mean, two of us are leaning towards blue at least.
My count is 2 votes for blue, 1 for black.
How does Lorem feel about this anyway?
Lorem is going to be a tiebreaker if needed.
Okay.
Aurelia?
I don't know. Aurelia is fine with whatever, as long as it's not one of the bad ones, like the slave ones.
They're dragons. They're all bad.
Yeah.
Right, you know what I mean, though. One of the worst ones. Like, okay, the whites and the greens are the ones we don't want. The other ones are all whatever.
So I guess
So,
it's
yeah.
blue then, considering blue has 2
I
votes
mean,
to...
Yeah. If we're
I mean,
bent
do you
on
want
fighting, though, we
picture
could
me
work
on-
with a red clan.
I'd rather...
Yeah, but they seem to be all about fighting,
rather-
given the impression that was just given to us.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll vote for whatever will cause Lorem to be the tiebreaker, so that when it goes south, I can blame it on him.
That'd be black dragons then.
That
Because,
one.
yeah, it was 2 blue and a black dragon. Those are the votes at the moment.
So you're voting for black?
Yeah, I'm voting for black.
And what's the pitch for black?
Ideally, we sneak through the territory and don't have to fight.
Okay, I'll vote for black.
Good, finally, my elevator pitch worked.
I mean, Aurelia prefers avoiding combat, so...
Because for any of them, it's pretty much guaranteed combat, except for the blacks.
In which case
I mean, I'm
it's
sure
very
we'll
likely
combat anyway.
combat.
It's D&D. I mean,
Anyway, it looks like we look at Lorem and go, well,
Oh, well, I certainly would like to avoid combat. I may be a wizard, but I don't know that many attack spells.
I think you've held your own, dude.
that's right. He doesn't even fucking know magic missile, okay? I think he has a point.
You don't need to, like, kill people to win a fight.
That's I mean, you kind of need to kill a dragon to win a fight against a dragon. You can't really
You don't.
talk
You absolutely
dragons
don't.
down.
You need to kill
You
a
don't
dragon
need to talk them
win a
down
fight
either.
against-
He
To
can
win a
send
fight
the
against
dragon
the
to another
dragon.
fucking dimension. No, you don't. You don't need to kill them to win the fight
No,
against them.
I'm trying to figure out this fucking logic.
To win the fight against the dragon, you need to kill a dragon. I don't get what's so hard to. Anyway, okay, so it looks
Don't-
like we're going for the Black Clan.
Mm.
All right. Well, the kobold nods, and using the map he scrawled in the dirt earlier, he points out where the nearest Black Clan is likely to be found. And he then turns back to you guys and says, "One last thing. There is a reason that we help you. It is because Southerners disrupt the clans. And when they disrupt the clans, more kobolds go free. So, disrupt the clans. We will follow."
Cool. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the
Thumbs up.
kobolds back up. Before too long, they seem to disappear into the wastelands surrounding you.
Mm.
I like those guys.
Yeah, they're neat.
They're good people.
Mhm.
Also, they hate dragons too.
Yeah.
Finally. Fuck dragons.
Okay. I mean, Errol is standing right here.
So.
Yeah, he doesn't count. It's fine.
Okay, well, as long as you make it clear, because I don't want his feelings hurt.
No, I mean real dragons.
Nash is just shaking his head.
Well, come on. Remember, pseudo is right there in the name.
Yeah,
It's
but
actually-
also they're technically classified as dragons, so
But they're not
really,
real dragons. They're not
the
the
game
kind of
needs to make up
dragon
Well, I
its
mean,
that'll
mind.
dick me over.
I think kobolds are
Any given
also
moment.
technically classified as dragons too. So, like, you know, kind of a loose
Yeah,
definition.
Are they?
Yeah, but by the sounds of it, they're about as much dragon as the Dragonborn, so who cares?
I actually don't know. I think they might be. I don't remember.
They are
out of
humanoids.
out of character, I do not remember.
They are humanoids,
Oh,
not
okay.
dragons.
Small humanoid, kobold type. Your journey takes you a good week and a half of more desert marching. Out here, there really isn't that much to encounter. The large beasts are few and far between. Luckily, you have Lorm's Sanctum, so you don't even have to bother hunting them. But naturally, magical beasts and other strange encounters like the manticore and the lamias are even rarer. As such, by the time you hit the steplands, not much of interest has happened. However, the storms seem to come by a little more frequently. More clouds start to clutter the skies, and what was a waste has now become green plains, where it seems trees are hard to find, but grass is much easier now. The terrain has basically, it seems to vary quite a bit between flat plains where nothing goes up or down even by a foot, to foothills full of giant mountains that suddenly appear in front of you and block your path. You discover that you discover where the Black Dragonborn live because the smell reaches you first. It's unpleasant. It smells like decay, but the decay of plant life. Perhaps it's some spring coming out from below, but the ground beneath you seems to get soggy, and the grasses give way to mosses and other things that they don't need too much water to grow, but they need a lot more than where you came from. And it would seem that they all grow so closely that they grow on top of each other, bury each other. So this is a peat bog you have found yourself in.
Ah, bogs. I hate them.
What
Good
don't
old
you
peat
hate?
bog.
No. I mean, in real life, I fucking hate them.
Oh yeah.
And Grunash's first impressions? Not impressed.
The encampment itself is easy enough to find, but with the massive sight lines that you have out here in the flatlands, and of course the yurts stick out like a sore white thumb in the green and black surroundings. They're not the kind of building that any of you are really familiar with. I mean, Grenache would have the most experience with the sort of temporary tents and housing, but the orcs don't build like this.
Well, I guess if they have to be mobile, this makes the most sense.
I mean, they could just sleep in an alley like a normal person.
No
Do you see
normal
any
person
alleys out
sleeps
here?
in an alley.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
As someone who has slept in an alley, let me tell you, no. You're wrong.
And again, do you see any alleys out here?
I mean, they can.
Why are you like this, Lake?
You're not civilized enough for alleys.
Excuse me, I am well versed in the art of sleeping in alleys. I'll have you know.
What? What? What was that a response to? No one doubted that you sleep in fucking alleys.
Yeah, but you said you're not civilized enough to sleep in alleys. So it's like
I didn't say you're not civilized enough.
Oh,
I said they're not civilized enough.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about me. Never mind then.
I mean, they're not civilized enough to build houses, let alone alleyways.
No, maybe to them, we're the real barbarians.
Yeah, well, they're wrong then. Let's just go.
So,
Maybe.
aside from the one of you who's been this way before, the Dragonborn are completely new creatures to you. They have sort of a human profile in that, they've got the head, the arms, shoulders, legs. But they are tall, heavily built, thick, and covered in black scales. Their heads look more like those of a lizard than those of a human.
Go ahead.
And they would remind you of dragons if you had ever seen one. Which, again, in one case you have, but in the rest case, they just kind of... At best, you can just sort of look over at Errol and go, yeah, it's sort of like that, I guess.
Okay,
I
so
think you just stop disrespecting my dog. I mean, my dragon.
Quick out of character question. In your world, what is the difference between Dragonborns and half-dragons?
Dragonborn were created to be servants out of dragon eggs. Half-dragons were
Created by boning.
Yeah, are actively descendants of dragons and other races.
Okay. I guess we can just go down and talk to them, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna have to say hi to them.
Yeah.
As long as they're willing to say hi back.
No guarantees.
I figured.
Just don't be a dick.
Well, just as you were able to spot them from far away, they clearly were able to spot you at the same distance. And so as you approach the encampment, you see a small line of warriors with weapons ready, getting the greeting wagon out, shall we say.
I actually will slide my arcane implement wherever I can slide it to when I'm not using it, and just walk down there completely unarmed. At the unarmed as in like my stick is on my back or whatever. Not easily available to me.
I mean, Grunash can't dislocate his fist, so...
Yeah.
Just tear off your own arms.
You can cross them and put them under your armpits or something, but I think that would actually be more aggressive.
So once you get to about 50 paces away, the warrior in the front shouts, "Halt," in Draconic, and demands to know who your master is, in Draconic.
Do you speak Common?
He sort of looks at the other warriors surrounding him
Oh god, did we really not think of this?
rather
God damn it.
confusedly. And there's a lot of hurried and hushed talking before finally one of them runs back into the camp. And a few minutes later, they march back out, this time with an elf in tow. And now that they have an elf with them, you can really get a sense for just how tall these guys are, because the elf doesn't really come up to the guy's chest.
Oh no.
Like he's got
It's
a
short
good
elf.
he's got a good head and a half on the elf.
Well, I say hello in Elvish
That's
at least,
interesting.
because I'm assuming that if they don't speak Common, at least I know Elvish. So
And yeah, so the elf shouts back in common,
okay.
"Who is your master?"
We don't have one.
The elf translates. The Dragonborn barks something. The elf turns back to you. "Do you want one?"
I turn to the guys. I think we should probably answer yes and lie. We should lie and say yes, and that.
Maybe you shouldn't say that so loud.
I'm not.
We-
I'm not saying it loudly. I'm whispering because they're still 50 paces away.
The answer is
Can
saying
we
it
take
at all.
one for a test drive?
I don't think
This
it
isn't-
works like that.
This isn't Big Bill Hells. No, it's not. No, we can't.
The fuck's Big Bill Hells?
It's a place.
I asked that, but both in and out of character.
Oh, I have a video to link to you later, my friend.
Oh, I know what it is.
No, I'm saying.
But I
Vis-
don't. I
Visk
literally
is
have no
saying-
idea what you're talking
yeah.
about. All right. Wait. Okay, let's hedge our bets and say perhaps.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to say yes. I mean, then I feel like we're giving in a little easily. Like we should make them pitch it to us.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe. Why? You selling one?
God.
Well, it would be easier for everyone if you came here to declare fealty. The elf isn't even translating for this. He's just saying this for himself.
Okay.
What if we were to test out the fealty? Like, maybe not declare up front.
You realize it doesn't work like that, right?
I mean, I don't know how the fuck it works. These are savages.
Listen to your
Okay.
goblin friend there.
Also, don't say that to their fucking faces.
They don't understand us.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, seriously,
the intent
dude.
comes
Guys.
across.
Guys, perhaps we can just work a trade.
Okay, I asked the elf, will they try to kill us if we say no?
Well, the elf sort of just gives them a long look and says, depends on how long you plan on sticking around, what you plan on doing here. If you're here for trading, then you should say so and we can get on with it.
We're here.
We want help getting to some mountains or something, I
Yeah.
think. I forget. I haven't been paying attention to
This
our
is-
plan.
Oh my god.
We need
I'd
your
say all
help
this out
passing
loud.
through these lands.
The Vanishing Mountains,
Yes.
Yes.
Orm says.
What he said.
And the elf's just eyes bug out. The Vanishing Mountains? It's on the other side of the Red Territory.
Yeah.
Why do you need to get there? There's this... Oh, I probably shouldn't tell them. We could pay you? Pay us what? You take gold, right?
Oh, they don't. They don't have any reason for it out
Wouldn't
here.
they take gold?
Well, of
I think trade. They just said they trade.
Of course they take gold. They're Dragonborn.
Oh, okay.
What are you
Also, they
fucking
trade. They
stupid?
literally just
I
said
don't-
that they trade. Obviously,
I've-
with outsiders. So, like,
But also,
Listen.
they love shiny shit.
Yeah, that too. I mean, who doesn't? Yeah, I mean, like
You're not wrong.
we can pay for passage. That's what it takes.
Passage clear across the Redlands, though. And so the elf shrugs and talks to the warriors, Interconic. One of the warriors laughs, but the others don't. And the one who seems to be in charge points to the one who ran off earlier, makes him run off again. And when that happens, the elf turns back to you and says, well, turns out you might be in luck. You might be due for a raid through the Red Dragonlands. With all the wars going on around there, it's always good pickings. If you know where to look, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, let's just wait here then, I guess.
I appreciate how just done with this the elf is.
also, by the way, are you like a slave or something, or you like hanging out with these guys?
Oh, I'm a slave.
Oh,
Second generation.
Oh. My condolences.
I've seen what the other tribes do with their slaves. It could be worse.
As an observation, how well treated does this elf look?
Well, he's not wearing the finest clothing in the camp, but he doesn't look like he's been rolling around in shit either.
Oh, he must be a king.
Or at least respected enough to not be treated like shit. So it can't be all bad.
Are you saying slavery can't be that bad? Is that what I just fucking heard?
Dude, he's Oh, okay, well.
I mean, I'm just saying that it's more like an employer-employee kind of thing where he lives on site at this point.
Ah, yes, but he's not paid in money. He's paid in room and board, so it's fine.
He's paid in the fact that he gets to eat maybe like 1.5 meals a day. Oh boy.
Just saying, trying to rationalize this is not the best idea.
No.
Does the elf look like a stick?
Well, he's an elf. They all look like sticks.
I mean,
Okay, but let me just give you all some context. The slavery is not something that really happens in the Empire. And being adjacent to the Empire, it's not really something that happens in Vienna either. But the further north you go, the more common slavery is. Also,
These swarthy northerners. No respect for freedom.
also orcs and goblins and northern human tribes in the south have something called thralls, which aren't exactly slaves, but they also don't respect your life if you're a thrall, so it's similar in concept.
Slavery and all but name.
So as far as the ones of you who have lived in the south go, this guy is reminding you more of a thrall than of what you've heard of Relgothi slaves.
which is why Grunash is a bit more relaxed about it than the others, it seems.
Anyway, that guy goes off and I guess are we led to the camp at some point or?
No, you're still being shouted at from 50 paces.
Okay.
Sitting on the grass, picking it bored.
Yeah.
Would it be possible to do this a bit closer so that we're not shouting across the valley?
Well, as soon as the one runner comes back and confers with the warriors again, the lead warrior and the elf translator come up to you, and through the translator, the head warrior explains that we are in fact going on a raid through the Red Territory soon. I believe it's still a week away. It's still about 6 or 7 days away at this point. But if you are willing to help gather, if you are willing to let the Dragonborn have what you gather, and if you are willing to help carry the camp on your backs, then they would be willing to share their food and protection.
Man, I'm good at carrying stuff on my back now. Check this out, and I lift Grunash above my head again.
I'll help gather, but I'm not exactly built for carrying camps. I'm sorry.
Yeah, same.
Then leave that to us too. We'll do the carrying.
Also, I think the goblin is literally stronger than I am, so.
I am. I am afraid.
Aurelia,
13
Aurelia
strength.
does not lift, okay?
Let's put it this way: until I had the belt, I only had an 8 strength. So this is amazing to me.
Yeah, same.
Huh,
God.
Grunash is 13 strength too.
Actually, when you say this, the Dragonborn, when you're saying this, the Dragonborn laughs and says, "None of you are built for carrying, except maybe him." Points to the orc, who is the only one who comes close to as tall as he is.
I finally put Grunash down from above my head.
Lily just flashes a toothy grin at Grenache.
But even Dragonborn have children, and children carry what carry what they can. You carry what you can.
So carry within our means. That seems fair.
Yeah, sounds fine, I guess.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, don't I have a bag of holding? Okay, never mind. I can carry shit. I totally forgot I had that. I've had that since the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, your adventurer ancestor had 4 magic items, and they were
Right.
split evenly between the family.
By which I mean I stole it before I left.
I mean, you want to talk about stealing.
I mean, that's how Lake lives their life every day.
I mean, that's literally how Lily lives her life.
Yes, you're
But-
all thieves.
So I just need to hear sort of a nod or an acceptance.
sure.
Yeah, sure.
We'll carry shit.
Yeah, sure. Unlike a certain noble, I can actually lift. And Lily just flexes.
But
I believe we have an agreement.
with that, the lead warrior introduces herself. Actually, it's a bit hard to tell with Dragonborn. They're very little. What's the word
Secondary
for that?
sexual characteristics.
Yeah.
Ah, so your universe doesn't have dragon tits. Interesting.
What a shame.
Yes.
No
she
4E
introduces
for you, my friends.
She introduces herself as Rowland, the Glittering.
Rolanek the Glittering. Okay, I
It's a
need to
pretty
write that
awesome
down,
name,
because
though.
guess who's good at names? Rolanek the Glittering.
So how long are we going to be traveling with these people?
At least a month, maybe 2.
Is that long enough to learn Draconic?
No.
Nope.
Is it long enough to
250
start learning
days.
Draconic?
250 days, my friend.
To be fair, I can at least translate to some extent.
See, I want to learn Draconic so that I can talk to my dragon in a language I understand.
It's been understanding you.
Well, I know, but everyone else can understand me.
Also, it's still kind of weird that you're asserting ownership over a sentient creature.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Sure, like when you call someone your friend, you're asserting ownership over them. I'm not saying he's a dragon that belongs to me. I'm saying he's my dragon.
Well, you sure act like it.
But he chooses. Screw you. He hangs out with me because I give him birds and shit.
Ah, like a dog.
Well,
Well,
more
now
like a
you're
cat.
the one being insulting.
Actually, it's more like a cat.
Really?
Yeah.
Look, my cat can get whatever fucking animal she wants.
I mean,
But you also learn that the tribe's name is Kindakalial,
Okay.
and the elf explains that this is the name of their leader, their master. The dragon that, if it bothers showing up, they will follow its orders without question.
so where does it live?
Don't ask that.
No. No.
Well, I mean, like, okay, you
None
don't
of
tell me
us-
specifically. Just like, why doesn't it live with you guys?
Why would it live with us? We're just dragonborn and assorted slaves. It's got its own. The dragon Kindakalial has its own lair.
Fair,
Kin-
okay.
Kindakalial has its own lair, and it only comes to us when it needs something it can't do itself.
You forget that Dragonborn are a lower caste.
Yeah, but I mean, so is everyone that Aurelia rules over, and that doesn't stop her from living
Oh
with
my
them.
God.
But they're not comparable.
I don't see the difference. Anyway,
You're not a dragon, so of course you wouldn't.
I'm a metaphorical dragon.
No, you're really. Okay.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah. So, like the free kobolds told you, it's not really surprising to see the occasional kobold in the camp as well. And it seems like they've got the most menial tasks. Cooking food, mending the cloth they use to cover their yurts, making sure everything's in good repair. And you don't really see too many of them, but when the sun goes down, a whole bunch more seem to appear. You're not quite sure where they came from, but none of the Dragonborn seem concerned that there are a lot more kobolds around than there used to be. There is one other thing you notice, which is that the kobolds surrounding you are mostly dark colored. Like, they don't have pure black scales like the Dragonborn do, but they are sort of dusky gray, dark. Whereas the free kobolds you saw before came in practically every color of the rainbow.
So basically all the free kobolds just gather up with each other, whereas the tribal ones tend to stick with something relatively close to their own color, I guess.
Well, who they're descended from, yes. Yeah.
Something about birds of a feather.
Now, as for other humanoids, you find out that the elf in the village is fairly alone. Like, you can count the number of humanoids with skin on their faces on one hand, outside of yourselves.
Oh, I was about to say, is that including us, or?
Of them, there appear to be 3 elves in total, along with 1 human, and seems like a fairly exotic... well, honestly, you're not quite sure what it is, but it's really tall. About as tall as the Dragonborn.
Can I roll history?
Yeah, it's sort of a dusky gray skin tone.
Can I roll history to know that this is a Goliath in character?
Could I roll on that?
Yes, but it would be really hard for both of you.
Yeah, I mean... Nope!
It's a dog.
Yeah, none of you got it, but Lily, they do seem familiar to you. Like, they aren't true giants, but you do remember seeing a gathering or two of Goliaths when you were going through the mountains.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I should recognize this because the one encounter I had before with Rocky.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
It was a private thing, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't he the guy who, like, punched you out when in a bar or something?
No, I punched someone else up.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So you do recognize him as being possibly the same kin as Rock Eater, but you're not quite sure what that kin is.
That's fair.
It's just, there's another one of these in the world. Neat.
Oh, I recognize that thing. It's pretty cool, I guess. He's not some freak of nature.
wouldn't have thought that in the first place. I mean, look at me.
Nah, you're actually really common where you're from.
Where I'm from, yeah, around here, probably not.
Mm. I mean,
Well,
I'm really rare either way, so
yeah, you got a glowing head. What is up with that?
yeah. No, listen. I have the
Weirdo.
hood on. I have the hood on.
Goddamn mutant.
He's mostly human. They're mostly human.
No.
I'm not mostly human.
You
So-
are the least human person here. Congratulations.
Y'all are.
Finally.
So,
How-
you soon figure out how exactly the Black Dragonborn managed to sneak through open plains like this, which is that the first thing they do is they sleep during the day most of the time and march further west under the cover of darkness. And surprisingly easier than you thought it would, than you figure it would be, because well, actually, do Dragonborn have dark
I
vision?
think they do.
Dark vision, more like dork vision.
It's-
Wait,
we
I have
all
dark vision.
have
Never
dark
mind.
vision.
Yeah.
Every single one of us has dark vision.
And Dragonborn do not.
No, they don't actually. Huh. Interesting.
I also have a sweet nightlight.
I mean, I think my sword's like on fire or something. So
Mine is made of light.
I mean, I have a glowing head, so
Fucking weirdo.
Well, anyway, so it is surprisingly easy, despite the fact that the Dragonborn apparently can't see in the dark. Because they have kobolds and the humanoids with them to guide them.
And
The
now
el-
us.
And now you guys, too. And as soon as they learn that, you are placed on scouting duty. And, but even besides that, the fact is that most nights have clear skies. And even when the moon isn't full, there's so much light coming in from the starlight on this open plain that you can still see where your feet are in front of you. And so the Black Dragonborn take advantage of that to move their camp from one place to another without being spotted by patrols. Unlike your group, you do notice that there are patrols, and you notice them because the red dragons use torches at night. During the day, they also keep themselves well hidden by flipping the cloth over to a very green-colored one. Looks like they just sort of rubbed grass all over it until it stained the same color.
Camouflage.
I mean,
Yeah?
it's clever.
And
I mean, it works in the south.
sometimes the ground around you changes color, different kinds of grass or different kinds of territory. And so when that happens, the kobolds get to work rubbing more stuff on the cloth until it blends in.
Very efficient system. Fair play.
When you make your stops, it's where battles have recently happened. The Black Dragonborn are very good at following their noses, their very prodigious noses, and also at watching for vultures and buzzards and other scavengers that run on the ground. The battle sites are not pretty. Not many of you have actually seen the remains of a battle before. And while you wouldn't exactly be able to cross from one end to the other by jumping on corpses, there are certainly quite a few around, and all of them have this aura of stench around them by the time you get there. You're not quite sure why, but it seems like the Red Dragonborn don't really care to do anything for the dead, their own or their enemies, because both sides are always lying where they fell. Sometimes with the weapons still sticking out of them, but other times having crawled for 10, 20, 100 feet before finally succumbing to their wounds. The Black Dragonborn are not very picky about what they grab. Sometimes it's the clothing off the backs of the dead. Sometimes they grab weapons if they look like they're in good enough shape to be repaired. And sometimes they get lucky and they manage to find a few trinkets that one of the warriors was carrying into battle. And unless any of you say otherwise, you have to go out and scavenge the bodies for everything on them as well, and turn over everything you find to the warriors.
I'd look around willingly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
it's
it's
what
up
we
Willie's alley,
agreed to.
actually.
It's what we agreed to, so... Honestly, I think the only person against this would be Aurelia, because I don't want to get my royal shoes dirty.
Yeah, you guys have fun.
The Dragonborn warrior who's been assigned to keep track of you guys stares daggers at you.
Lily gives him a thumbs up.
You know what? I'll offer him a bribe.
Why?
To, make up for the fact that I'm not helping.
What do you offer?
I don't know. Can I use the skill to figure out what an appropriate amount would be?
Insight.
Could have just tried helping around the camp, but no.
Yeah.
Gotta make a scene about it.
Well, no, helping out around the camp is also stuff you all have to do.
Ah.
But yeah, you are familiar enough with greed to understand that Rowland expects something out of you, and if it's not going to be effort, then maybe it can be gold. And so you place a gold piece in her giant clawed hand, and she takes it. And a few minutes later, she has her hand back out, and you have to put another gold piece on it to continue to not do anything during the scavenging.
Meanwhile, Lake comes back with 4 giant hefty bags worth of stuff. Simply because they can carry that much.
Does Lily find anything interesting?
Roll investigation.
I mean,
Investigation? I will fucking roll.
I'll do the same.
What was the final cost? 2 gold pieces, or is it going to be more than that?
it's going to be way more than that, dude.
I
it's going to be more than that. Yeah,
appreciate.
Well, I do say that I have said before that unless you guys want to make a big purchase, as the head of a state, your official gold count is now enough.
Oh, yeah, that's
Nice.
right.
But for the record, it's several hundred between all of the scavenging that you avoid.
Fair.
I mean, Lily comes back with better stuff, but Lake just like is carrying 4 duffel bags at the same time. There's got to be some good shit in there somewhere.
Wait.
I guess on my part, I'm just like picking out.
Who said I came back with it? I'm just wondering what the interesting shit was.
All right. Well, Grenache does pretty much as well as the others assigned to scavenging, which you note is also happens to be a lot of the kobolds. And you also note that when the kobolds are searching around during the day, they kind of look a little blind, like it's hard for them to see. That's probably why they disappear somewhere during the daylight hours most of the time.
Sensitive to sunlight. Suppose that makes sense.
Lake, drunk on his own power, it's their own power, sorry, begins picking up entire bodies and hoisting them back to camp, just piling them up, which does in fact make scavenging faster and easier for those who pick through them. You don't find anything too remarkable, but you find a lot of it.
I'm telling you, I'm strong now. I'm going to cherish it.
Lily, there's honestly not that much to find, just period, out here in the wastelands. I mean, among other things, the Dragonborn do care enough about their fallen to take important things off their corpses when they die, and off the corpses of their dead, the ones that God damn it, why is the word? The winners will also scavenge their enemies for the good stuff too. But just to honor that 28, I'm going to say that there is one thing that you find that is particularly remarkable. So let's find out what it is. I am rolling on random magic item charts. So this is going to be a surprise to everybody.
Oh boy.
Let me tell you about my investigation expertise.
Another belt of giant strength, please.
You find a belt of giant strength that is better than Lake's, and Lake is very jealous.
No, it doesn't look like you're going to be that lucky.
Just start posing with it.
You don't even wear it. You just rub it in Lake's face. Look what I found.
When you roll over a dead Dragonborn corpse, you notice that there is a small vial underneath, just sort of half buried in the ground, but still somehow intact.
Oh boy.
And the contents are cloudy, but you get a feeling that they might do something if you drink them.
Do it.
Listen, I'm finally free of having to be the party, like, parent. I got rid of both of the party members that just would put random things in their mouths. Don't put random things in your mouth!
But what do I roll to see if I can figure out what it is?
Just roll straight wisdom first.
Ah.
Oh no, my worst stat at 11.
Fuck you.
That's right. Isn't there a wizard with us?
Yeah, there is a wizard.
So I came back to a moment of stupidity. That's good.
Yeah, I think I'll just pocket that on the down low for the time being.
That will be sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand indeed.
Oh no.
All right.
Definitely wasn't great, but it could have been worse.
I mean, you have a plus. What is that? 8.
Yes.
Damn. Rogues, man.
And then yeah, I think. Do I have that written down as expertise?
You must, because I think at this point you could only no. If you had a 20 dexterity and a 3 proficiency, yeah, that's. I don't think that is expertise. I think that's just your normal.
Nope, that's just proficiency.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. One of the kobolds, you're pretty sure it saw you put that in your pocket, but it doesn't say anything. And when you walk past the guards, they don't seem to notice. They're more interested in the bags that you're holding that are full of more valuable things, or more obvious things, I should say. And when you get a private moment, you take it out and show it to Magus Lorum. And he gives it a good look, shakes it a bit. Yellow fluid, black streaks, moves on its own. This is a potion of speed. Take good care of that. Could come in very handy if you in the right situation.
Just give him a thumbs up and stash it.
All right. Well, write that down on your character sheet. You now have a potion of speed.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it works is that when you drink it, you are hasted for 1 minute.
Haste.
Ooh.
I don't quite know how haste works in 5th edition, but I remember in 3rd edition that haste was really fucking good.
Well, the way haste works in 5th edition is it gives you an extra action on your turn.
That's
You can only
good.
use the action for very specific things, but it's still an extra action.
Attack, dash, disengage, hide, or use object. Okay. Yeah, that's actually really good. Oh, and it also +2 bonus to AC and advantage on dexterity saving throws. Damn, haste is really good.
Also, I'm impressed that kobold saw me.
Well, it could be that it's used to seeing stuff like that happen.
In its own hands.
But I'm more mad that you said their eyesight wasn't the greatest.
Yeah,
In the light.
but like I said, it might be used to seeing stuff like that happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, Torvo got his ill-gotten goods, but I mean,
Damn straight.
It's a good ill-gotten good, so I don't care.
Not gonna lie, this is part of why I wanted to go with Black Dragons, is because I was banking on this. Look, Lily will be Lily regardless of the setting.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right. You do get most of the way through the dragon territories without any serious challenges, although you do have to break camp a little early and get a move on a lot faster than you'd like, more than once, in order to avoid patrols and scouts. But of course, with a group this large, you can't really bank on too much good luck for too long. And so one day, something happens. And we'll discuss what happens next time.
Aww.
How's Errol doing though?
I mean,
How's who doing?
Errol.
Oh. Errol has been feasting on the buzzards you've been charming down.
Nice. What a
how's
good boy.
Bastion doing?
Um,
Still tripping over her own legs or what?
no, after several months out on the open plains where jackals tend to roam, she's actually gotten quite used to life out here. She seems to find her own food when she runs off during the day, but she always comes back in the evening because you've always got some meat from your rations to share with her.
I wonder how conflicted she is when she catches a mouse to eat.
Probably not conflicted at all. I don't really think that.
She used
Mice.
to be a mouse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
think
look who's
mice
on top
will
now.
also eat other mice. So, like, yeah, I don't think she has moral qualms.
Anyway.
Yeah, your pet got reincarnated, not awakened.
Okay. One day. One day.
Just never forget the hero you were.